Before beginning this presentation, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that I am on today, the Mullahridji people, and the traditional owners of the lands that surround me. I would also like to pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. The main focal point of this presentation will be on First Nations emerging elders and the importance of keeping culture alive for their future and for generations to come. As a social worker, I vow to walk alongside First Nations people and to always advocate for self-determination and sovereignty. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kizzy. I am a Jabbergai woman born in Kuranda and I was raised on the Atherton Tablelands. I am a mother of my 3-year-old son Tyreek, and I am a social worker. I want to talk about a little bit about my family history. So on the paternal side, my father's father is Lance Riley and his wife was Joycey Hobler and she became a Riley. My granddad is a very well-known, prominent figure in Queensland but across Australia for his activism for Aboriginal rights, especially in the 70s. And more locally, he is known for the Mayawumba dance troupe and heavily involved in the setting up of Jabbergai dances. So the Mayawumba dance troupe still practices and dances today. That is now run by my uncles. My father is the third eldest of 13, and so my uncles predominantly run the dance troupe, and now my cousins are about all in their 20s. They are stepping up and really carrying that through, making sure that the younger boys are learning. And so I was very proudly able to watch my 3-year-old dance his first Warama a couple of weeks ago. So I want to share that experience today in the sense of how important culture is, but through dance we're able to still remain strong, connected and practicing our traditional culture. So as from the lens of a little 3-year-old, Tyreek has watched and waited for his turn and practiced all day around the house for this moment where he's able to come together with his granddads and his uncles and a couple of his brothers to perform this traditional ceremonial dance passed down from my grandfather, his great-great-grandfather. So it's about, I really want to touch on the language that is spoken and practiced that Ty is listening to, and we're constantly using words and dialogue of traditional language in the dance, but also the warming up, and as my father paints my son in the traditional paints and specific way that the paints need to be painted on the body and whereabouts. That's all significantly on purpose and is specific to our traditional way of painting. And so as my dad paints Thai with the specific colours, he'll have in mind that he'll be not this dance, but he will be dancing the part of his totem, and that is of the Gangara, which is the crocodile, which is Thai's totem. But he didn't dance that today because he is 3 and he has to learn that specific part. I want to share I want to really create importance around the dancing ceremony. It's not just a performance, like an artistic expression. This is a very strong, spiritually ancestral, traditional ceremony practice that not only encompasses language and that's being taught and practiced, but also chanting and didgeridoo and clapstick vibrations and the adrenaline and the brotherhood. It's not only just as the dance starts, it is more importantly, coming together. There's women around, but this is a chance for the men in the family to connect and bond. Whatever they've been doing in their private life, they're coming together to do Warama, to celebrate, to have the honour to practice this traditional culture together. And so it's the painting up, and it's the connection, and it's the pride of warming up, of going out there, of the adrenaline surging through the veins, of practicing this spiritual dance, but also the thanking of extended family. Some of the boys were from Mariba, coming over, and they are extended family, they are related, but they don't usually dance as often as my first cousins, my brothers. And so they stepped up and they thanked my uncle, my dad's brother, for the honour of dancing together. And I really wanted to mention that because it's such an honour to be able to practice our culture and then perform it for the wider community, and to be able to partake in modern day corroboree as a family, and practicing that. And I just want to be able to say that reconciliation at a grassroots level is very much within our families as Aboriginal people, as Aboriginal families It's speaking the dialect still. It is using those words instead of English, very much. Even more so for when I'm home. I don't do it as much when I'm away, but when I'm home, it's constant Jabbergai language incorporated with English as an everyday language. And it is practicing culture and understanding family kinship and keeping those practices and that dialogue and that language and connectedness to as a family and like in community, and practicing that grassroots is so important. But I also want to show that through dance and performing this and showing the wider community the strength in Aboriginal culture, but also acknowledging the connection to country, to animals, to spirit, because we believe that we are so connected, that our DNA runs through these rivers, runs through these trees, through the energy lines, and practicing culture is such a privilege. And it's a reminder to anyone witnessing that we are connected to this land, to Mother Earth, and to Spirit, and our spirit creators. And as long as we live and breathe and keep connected and practicing culture, we're doing it at a grassroots level, which is so profoundly important, because we're doing it our way, and we're doing it the way that is so authentic, genuine, and spiritually connected for us. All right, thank you so much. Bye.
To conclude this presentation, I would like to thank my dear friend Kizzy for sharing her story and for agreeing to take part in this assessment. I would also like to thank the Mayawamba Dance Troupe and the Jabbergai Dance Troupe, and to give my deepest gratitude to Lance Riley, local elder and activist, and Kizzy's grandfather. Without Lance's determination to keep the Kuranda Dance Troupe alive, Kizzy's little guy Tyreek would not have such a strong connection to his culture, nor would his cousins and brothers. Kizzy's story has shown the importance of dance and connection for emerging elders, also that reconciliation should be brought about from a bottom-up approach, that we as future social workers should be holding our agenda lightly and listening to our First Nations peoples. This presentation has shown through mixed modalities the unity that non-Indigenous and Indigenous people can experience through shared knowledge, deep listening, and profound respect and appreciation. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to what I believe is reconciliation in action.